welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I get the honor of reviewing, for the very first time ever, E.T. on the Intellivision. Now, this game is obviously notorious for being on the Atari and often credited as the worst game ever, which I always disagree. I loved this game when I was, younger. I played it quite a bit. I didn't have it when I was a little kid because we didn't have an Atari. We had the Intellivision. But I always wished I had it for the Intellivision because I got to play this game on my friend's ColecoVision, actually. They had a ColecoVision with the Atari adapter that you can plug in Atari games, and I loved playing it there. So it was just annoying that it didn't exist on the Intellivision. Well, fast forward to 2022, and now it does. It's really interesting that they decided to port this game over. It's you got to think of the nostalgia of the movie, and you got to think about the reputation of the game. Now, there's going to be some slight differences, of course, but that's to be expected. We want the Intellivision to have its own version. And it's a direct port, so it's not like they've gone and just made all these extra pieces just to flash the game up. It's really just the same game, but it's on the Intellivision. But anyways, the important thing here is that you read the manual. And this is what I always say about the original game, the 2600 version. I'm sure a lot of people bought the game, they didn't even look at the manual, or they flipped through it, they put it in their Atari, they were excited, and they didn't know what the heck they were doing. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the important part of the manual. Okay, so as you can see, I got it up here on my screen now. Power zones. So when you're playing this game, there's a little symbol that will appear at the top, and it just flashes to a different symbol. And if you don't know what those are, you're not going to be able to play this game. So the first one is there's going to be a question mark. This is probably one of the more important symbols to show up, because if you're not familiar with the game, you're supposed to collect the pieces of a phone. Just like in the movie, E.T. needs to phone home. So you need to collect the pieces and, go to your ship and go home. So to find the pieces, you got to fall into these little pits that they have. So in order to prevent yourself from having to drop yourself into every single pit every time, you can use when the question mark appears at the top, you click the button and it'll blink if the pit will have a little blinky thing, and it'll let you know that there's a phone piece in there. The next one here is to move to a new site. So using E.T.'s power in these 4 zones will quickly move him to the direction of the arrow. So this will help you kind of get out of that section if you need to, because there is a scientist and an FBI agent running around, and you want to avoid them. Then we got to send humans back. That will send any human, Elliot, the FBI agent, and the scientist, back to the buildings where they came from. So when that symbol happens, that's what that does. Then we got the eat candy, which is a little circle with a dot. So he picks up pieces of candy, blue dots, you'll see them in the screen, and then each piece he eats will give him 360 energy units. So then there's the call Elliot button, so if he has 9 pieces of candy, I'm not sure what the significance of 9 is, I'm not sure if that's in the movie or not, but that's the number, the magic number. And then Elliot will take them and then chase away all the other humans. Then you got your call ship, which gets used at the end of the game to call the ship back to, your landing zone. And then you got the landing zone, where you'll be rescued. So that is what is important to understand this game. But anyway, so once you fully read the rulebook and you know what you're doing, it's time to then actually play the game. Okay, so we got the game going now. You get a nice soundtrack with it too. In the Atari one, the sound was only at the very beginning, but this game actually plays throughout, so that's pretty cool. So we got the game selection here, 1, 2, or 3. So pretty much I got the manual over here saying that 1 is hard, so Elliot, the FBI, and the agent, and the scientist will all appear. 2 is medium, only Elliot, the FBI, will appear, and 3 is easy, only Elliot appears. So let's do 2, just because. Then we got an easy or a hard option. So I'm going to take the easy road. There we go. So we got E.T. So, right off the bat, I mean, he looks pretty much identical to how he looks in the Atari version. There we go. He's even got his little finger sticking out. We know that's a finger. Alright, so we got a Reese's Pieces now. And then, okay. I'm gonna run away from that guy. I think that was the FBI agent. He'll just take you and drag you to his little quarters, which is over here. And you'll lose all your parts. So, you gotta be careful. You don't want to get hit by him. Oh. So, we're gonna look at those symbols now. You can see how it looks like in the pit. Sometimes you have to go into a pit just to get rid of those guys. I hope he's not back. And grab my Reese's Pieces. So you can see up there, there's the symbol that will send me over to the next area. You can run. That's the call, Elliot. Okay. Oh, so there's no phone piece in here. Because I pushed the button and nothing happened, so... Run. Now you have to keep in mind, you can run. Pushing down the action button will make you run. But that will use up more of your time down there. You'll see it's ticking down from 7,500. Whoa! I'm in the pit. Like I said, you got that nice music going on. And you got the sound effects at the same time. Now, of course, the graphics are very, very different. You know, the colors and all that stuff. Looks a little bit more fancier. You know, the Atari one is a little bit more plain, obviously. So we got one phone piece. Of course, one of the gripes of this game was always, you know, falling into the pits and trying to get out and then falling back in. That's just like a hit detection thing. I believe it's a little bit, it's corrected a little bit better on this version. I always seem to have a problem on the Atari one where I'd fall in. You know, you get out and then you fall back in again. Whoa. But ultimately, this feels like I'm playing the same game, which is cool. You know, that's what you want. You want it to be E.T. You didn't want it to be something different. Oh, crap. Let's go, E.T. I don't know why he decided... Well, in the manual it calls these wells, not pits. I always call them pits, but... Get away, Elliot. Uh-oh. Not fair that he gets to walk over the hole without falling in. Well, there's nothing here, so I'm gonna have to keep going. There is some extra things you can find in these wells. Oh. I believe that's... Oh. That was where I started. So really, when you're on each level, you have to explore each of the pits, because I can't just keep waiting around for that question mark to appear up there. So, we'll just keep looking for the phone pieces. The hard thing is to avoid the FBI agent from taking all your pieces. So if you want to, you can always just play it on easy for the first round, and play it the easiest one where there is no FBI agent, just to get familiar with finding the pieces. I decided to do that. I mean, we can always just restart this and, you know, let's see how it is with the, I'm just gonna reset here. Let's see how it looks like when I go on to the really hard version. So the hard one is 1, so we're gonna press 1, and 5. Let's go for really hard, see what happens here. So now we're gonna have this guy, he's running really fast, which is not good. Oh, we found a phone piece. Oh, no, that's the flower. Okay, yeah. I remember reading that in the manual as well. That gives you some extra bonus. So let's keep going. Run. Oh, there's the scientist. So he's just going to take me back to the this area here. It's really just to slow you down. Just gonna go down here. But overall, I'd say that this game is actually really well done. I mean, it really gives you that feel. I would have loved playing this if I, got this as a kid. I would have been playing this all the time. I mean, like I said in the beginning there, it didn't exist on the Intellivision, and I kind of wish it did. I didn't have an Atari, and that was typical back then. I mean, a lot of people only had one system. You either had the Atari, or you had a ColecoVision, or you had an Intellivision. Some people were fortunate to have multiple systems, and, especially in that time in the 80s, where, there was a lot of money to buy these systems back then. So, today it's not too uncommon where people have multiples. You have your Nintendo Switch, and you have an Xbox, and you have a PlayStation. We tend to indulge in this stuff a little bit more than back in the earlier days, back in the 80s, when your parents had to shell out lots and lots of money to buy these systems. Typically, it would be a Christmas present or something. Yeah, so that was E.T. for the Intellivision. Quite impressive and really well done. I remember thinking a while ago that, since I actually program my own games too, as well on the Intellivision, I was even thinking maybe I should try and take a stab at making this game. But I'm glad it actually happened and it came to be. And it's making its debut at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo of this year, 2022. So people who go there and go to the Intellivision Revolution booth, you'll be able to see this game. I'm not 100% if he's selling it there or if he's just going to be showing it off. But that's something that we need to see when it happens. Anyways, yes, we got E.T. for the Intellivision. There's a lot of other games that are coming. There's a bunch of other YouTubers that are also reviewing, and they're going to be released during that expo. So keep your eyes peeled to the Intellivision Revolution. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Throw some comments down below. Are you a fan of the original? Did you play it on the Atari? Or are you the side that says it was garbage and the game ruined the video gaming industry? Which I completely think is false. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.